In my Pacific Island homeland, nobody carries guns. Farmers and hunters have shotguns and rifles, and the army probably has a rifle as well, but nobody carries handguns. There's no need for it. Not even the police have handguns. Personal disputes here are sorted out with aggressive hand gestures and harsh words, and maybe it leads to a punch in the face occasionally, but no one ever has an urge to kill anybody. Nobody ever needs to shoot anyone. I grew up in a gun-free environment. We don't have a gun-toting culture here, and that's significant for the story I'm about to tell you. When I was 16, I left school and got a job in a bank. By the time I was 17, I was the head teller, and I was in charge of a whole lot of money. I had a combination to the safe, and my day would start by unlocking the safe, distributing a whole lot of cash to the other tellers, and keeping some for myself. At the end of the day, I would gather it all up again and lock it away in the safe again. But I had other responsibilities as well, and one of the crazy things was I was in charge of the guns. We had 6 pistols. I know nothing about guns, but I know a revolver when I see one, because I've seen lots of cowboy movies, and we had 6 revolvers that looked like they were out of cowboy movies. I had to distribute the guns to the senior members of the staff every morning and keep one for myself, which I'd put in the drawer in my teller's booth with all the cash. And at the end of the day, I'd collect those up again and I'd put them back in the safe. One of my responsibilities was to make sure they were always loaded, which they always were because no one ever fired one. What's really, really ridiculous is nobody ever suggested that I should know how to use one. No one ever showed me how to pick one up, even. Farmers and hunters have to have gun licenses. Nobody ever suggested that I should have a gun license. I just had to carry the guns. It was crazy. An important duty I had to perform every day was to send surplus cash to the main branch of our bank. So I'd get $20,000, put it in a sack that was emblazoned with our bank logo on the side of it. I'd seal it up and send it off to our head office. You would imagine that we would get a security company with an armoured van to deliver that for us, but no, we entrusted it to the post office. We could rely on the post office to deliver that for us. So really we only needed an armoured car to get it from the bank to the post office. But no, the post office was just down the road. We could take it in a car. But we didn't do that either. What we did instead was I carried the bag of money on foot down the main street to the post office. This is just crazy. It's ridiculous. Obviously there's a security issue here, and a bank is the sort of place that's very security conscious. So they made sure that I took somebody else with me for security purposes. The somebody else that I would take would be somebody more junior than me, which meant somebody who was 15 or 16 years old. So then you've got 2 kids walking down a busy main street carrying a big bag of money. This is for security purposes. Now, nobody actually told us what we'd need to do if there was a security issue. No one said, this is how you behave if someone confronts you. That was just a conversation that never took place. But we're still very security conscious, so the other rule was I had to carry the gun with me. I had to take my gun in my pocket down the main street with the bag of money to the post office. I was given 2 important instructions. I wasn't allowed to use the gun, and no one was allowed to see it. What's the point? What on earth is the point? This is just absolutely crazy. Anybody walking down the street would have been able to look at us and say, hey look, there's a couple of teenagers carrying a great big bag of cash. If anybody had confronted me and said, hand over the money, kid, I could have responded by saying, I should just warn you, I've got a gun. I'm not allowed to show it to you, but you can trust me that I have. And then they could have got away with a big bag of money and a loaded pistol. It is absolutely crazy. I don't know how that situation ever arose. It's just absolutely ridiculous. After I stopped working there, the police came around and confiscated all the guns and destroyed them. I don't know why we had them in the first place. But it could well be that I was the last gunslinger in town. You know, I've told that story many times to many different people over the years, and the universal response to that is that they don't believe me. Walking down the main street carrying a loaded pistol is just such an alien concept in this part of the world that people who have known me all my life have told me that I'm lying or that I'm just making it up. There are people who are watching this video now who will not believe that it's true, but I swear to you it is absolutely true. As bizarre as it is the truth.